Hi, this is Phil, and I'm here to tell you all about the Capes and Lunatics Patreon. Get early access to all of our interviews, including the monthly Chichester chats with writer and comic book legend DG Chichester, new episodes of classic Capes and Lunatics shows, including The Quantum Zone, This, That, or the Third, and many, many more specials, all completely uncensored. Access starts for $3 a month, full video when you pledge $5 a month. Check out the link in our show notes or go to patreon.com/capesandlunatics. Hope to see you there.
With blood and rage of crimson red, ripped from a corpse so freshly dead, together with our hellish hate, we'll burn you all. That is your fate.
This is Red Lantern Russell from
Toes of Evil,
and you're listening to Sector 2814, a Green Lantern podcast.
In brightest day,
in blackest night,
No evil shall escape my sight.
but those who worship evil's might.
beware my power.
Green Lantern's light. Hello and welcome back to Sector 2814, the Green Lantern pod. Well, this week, Red Lantern podcast. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, master of all the quarters. It is.
I am Will, and I won't be sleeping tonight. So.
Oh my!
After that intro.
Wow! Anyway, that's right, kids. This time we're covering Red Lanterns 1 through 4. More new 52. And hey, Will read some more new books, so we're gonna talk
Yeah, I finally caught up.
Oh, hey, I was gonna ask you. I just talked to was it last week? I talked to Mark Russell about I don't know if you saw any of Superman, this Superman Space Age or Batman Dark Age, where basically he's writing the characters, but it's like they're kind of aging in real time. So like he writes them over decades and stuff. And like he was saying, after he's doing those two for sure, but then like he's hoping DC lets him do more like a Wonder Woman, and he mentioned he wanted to do like a Green Lantern if they would let him. So
Cool.
that
Sounds cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Where they would like actually age,
Like the show, perhaps.
yes.
Veteran Green Lantern Hal Jordan, with rookie John Stewart.
Anyway, so yeah, you said you read the new Lantern book. So yeah, what did you think? What Green Lantern 15 and the 0 hour special? So what did you think?
Well, we got to talk about Hal first, right? I mean, it's just
Well, yeah,
expected, right?
Well,
I thought 15 was really good.
Mm-hmm.
It gets back to that kind of sci-fi, sci-fi hero that Hal, was kind of built from. And, it's like, oh, well, the plane's going down. Okay, I'm going to jettison. Well, I solved that problem. Now the problem is I don't have a parachute. Okay, how can I solve this problem to get to solve the next problem, to solve the next problem, to solve the next problem?
How'd you like that? Oh, yeah, when the plane makes that noise, it means it's going to blow up. What?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's, I think that one of the things that really, I really like about Hal is that he's just on that edge of recklessness, right? Just but not past the edge, usually. Just right on that edge.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. I Absolute Power's been fine. But I'm anxious to get back to our story.
Yes.
Which is the Lanterns and the United Planets and all that. Now the backup with John Stewart I thought was good. It's Philip Kennedy Johnson. I thought that was good. Again, and this isn't necessarily a criticism of the story. It's more, like, why isn't what I want to see in there, which is because what's there is good. It's just we've been waiting a really long time for what is the current situation with John Stewart, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's kind of a tease. It's kind of like, hold on a little bit longer. It's coming.
Yeah. So, I enjoyed the War Journal series, but I was hoping for some more answers about, just what is the new status quo. And I mean, there's another John out there, there's another Xanshi out there, there's potentially another Katmatui out there. We could theoretically finally get Katmatui back
Mhm.
from her being fridged before fridging was a thing. It's kind of a double insult because she gets fridged, but then she's not remembered for it. Alex is remembered for it from Kyle's run.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. Yeah.
but yeah, I enjoyed Green Lantern 15. Also enjoyed the 0 Hour 30th anniversary special. It was, first off, 0 Hour cannot have been 30 years ago. Uh, everybody that says it is a bunch of lying liars. Okay, it has not been 30 years since 0 Hour.
That's right. I'm still in high school. Damn it.
That's right. I'm still in college, but whatever. I thought it was good. I thought I don't know that some of the artists on some of the stories necessarily worked the best for those stories.
Hmm.
I mean, I'm not going to name names or anything. I mean, the art was good. It's just I don't know that because it was kind of some different styles that really contrasted, when they were one right after the other, and it was kind of jarring. But
Well, you know why? Because most of them weren't Daryl Banks.
there you go. But yeah, I thought that was pretty good. You and I were talking, before we went on that I felt like they wrote Kyle a little too rookie-ish.
Yeah, it seemed like I don't know. They were trying to homage, like 0 Hours when he kind of first started, but yeah, he kind of seemed wet behind the ears. I told you at first that seemed like to me. I was like, wait, is this set back in that time period? No, because we got an
Yeah.
editor's note that says it takes place right before the current Green Lantern #8. So
Yeah. So yeah, I thought that was a little bit. I mean, because Kyle's been to the other side of the source wall and back. He's not a noob. He's not wet behind
no,
the ears. He knows things, and I just felt like it took time, too much time, for him to tumble to the fact that this was another, an alternate reality or something like that. Because I feel like he should have picked up on that pretty quickly.
yeah.
Just based on his experience level, because he's not a rookie.
Mm-mm. I agree with you 100%. Yeah, I know that was my one thing. Like I said, it seemed weird to me because I was like, oh, I guess this is supposed to be current, but because again, what it's like, what you're not what Wally? What? Who are you? What? It's like,
I mean, but we got to see Azrael. We got to see Jack Knight Starman. We
yes.
got to see Warrior Guy Gardner. We got to see we got to see Batgirl and Supergirl, and it was some.
Mhm.
I mean, it was cool. It was very cool. And then there was the Ray. Ray was in there.
Yes.
There was some. They got most of the '90s characters. They hit most of them. So.
And for some of our fans, yes, Bruce Wayne was still in a wheelchair. Batman,
Yes.
my favorite character.
And Superman was, spoilers, still dead. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, I enjoyed it. It was, it was kind of a hoot to see some of those '90s characters that we really haven't seen in, some of them, decades almost at this point, right?
Mhm. Oh yeah, yeah. Again, I agree with you completely. Yes, it was a real hoot.
Mhm. Yeah.
But yeah, no, because because I know they had done that with like Death and Return of Superman. They did like 30th anniversary specials for those. I was like, I wonder if Zero was all right. Yeah, like I said, it was great. It was fine, except for Cal just seemed a little
Yeah,
naive.
I thought it was good. Now, spoilers. So if you don't want to hear about the ending of the 0 Hour 30th anniversary special,
Pause it right now.
mute us, pause it right now. You have a moment. So, okay, now we're going to talk about the ending of it, and I don't know what it means, Phil. You you were asking me before I read it, and I read it. I'm like, oh, this is what he meant. I don't know. I don't understand either, because it looks like the parallax from the alternate reality is now in the DC universe, the main DC universe. So what does that mean?
Yeah,
I
because
don't.
wasn't it like in the story they explained there was either a piece of parallax or he copied
Yeah.
himself and said basically in time trapper fashion, kind of fashioned this pocket universe.
Pocket universe, yeah, we've never seen that before.
Yes, which basically was the DC universe of 1994. Yes.
Yeah. So yeah,
But
and there was
But again, oh, you know what that proved? Hal was a dirty, dirty liar. Because during the original Zero Hour, wasn't he like, "Oh, I'll fix stuff for everybody. You know, I'll give everyone a perfect universe." Meanwhile, Superman's still dead, Batman's still in a wheelchair. I'm like, you didn't fix it for them.
Well, you know, Batman's was mean to him, so there you go.
Oh yeah, I have heard Batman is mean. Yes.
Into the Dark Knight, all to do with Batman.
Yeah, I don't disagree with you there, but yeah, I thought it was weird that piece of parallax or whatever is now loose in the DC universe. Is he just part of our parallax that came back? Because you said it was like a piece that broke off, but we don't. The emotional spectrum at this point is in chaos. We've got Sorrow, who showed up during the Green Lantern book, which I didn't even really talk about Carol and
Oh yeah,
and her encounter with him, but it was. I'm wondering if that's going to be a piece that may play into whatever's going on with the emotional spectrum, because that would be kind of cool, setting it up in a 30th anniversary book. And Parallax is the only entity that we have right now. And you and I, what was it, just last week or the week before last, we're talking about, hey, we just built all these really cool toys with all of the different Lantern Corps. Oh yeah, we're just going to blow up the Blue Lanterns now. They're gone.
yes.
The yellow, Sinestro Corps, yeah, they're gone too. Whatever. We still have the Red Lanterns. We still have Larfleeze. The Zamarans are ready to blow up their core, with the Star Sapphires, and we don't really know what's going on with, Well, I'll explain what's going on with the Indigo Tribe. Knock, 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 knock. There you go.
Oh, nice. All right, so
that brings us to Red Lanterns, doesn't it?
Yes, sir. All right, so yes, I have synopses for these. I have covers for these. So let's jump into here.
You bet.
All right, kids, Red Lanterns #1. There it is. All right. Yeah, I'm interested to get your thoughts on this. All right, Red Lanterns #1 from. Where's the date at? Sorry, kids. It's been a few days. November 2011, With Blood and Rage. Writer Peter Milligan, penciler Ed Bennis, inker Rob Hunter, colorist Nathan Eyring, letterer Carlos M. Mangual, and editors Darren Shawn and Brian Cunningham. So we got some different names here. So
yeah, I mean, Peter Milligan's kind of known for his Vertigo work.
Yes.
Before this, so yeah, it's a very interesting take, and I'd say I enjoyed it. But we'll get into that after we talk about all of them.
All right. In deep space, Sector 666, a ship of sadistic blue-skinned torturers are bored with their current victims, expressing a desire for new fare. Unfortunately for them, the prompt arrival of Dex Star, the Red Lantern space cat, doesn't prove to be as amusing as anticipated. Dex Star scalps one of the lead torturers, but is injured and captured by the rest of the crew. Enter Atrocitus, who swiftly massacres everyone on board while internally lamenting that he appears to be losing his motivation. Yes, he didn't massacre them with the gusto and energy he used to.
He's lost his groove.
That's right. Meanwhile, in small Ogden, UK, Sector 2814, a war veteran is resisting a mugging at the hands of Baxter, a street thug. Baxter kills him in a rage. Returning to Yzamalt, Atrocitus tenderly lays his cat down for healing before turning his attention to his brawling Red Lantern Corps, who struggle to string together a coherent thought between them. Belize, remember her, singles herself out as possessing the greatest focus among them, demonstrating potential insolence and causing Atrocitus to doubt his influence over his Corps. Owing to a lack of intelligent confidants, Atrocitus resorts to confiding in the corpse of Krona, former Mad Guardian and his greatest enemy. We learn through flashback of Krona's manhunters and the massacre of Sector 666. Atrocitus' great personal loss in witnessing the killing of his wife and child and his frustration at the vengeance denied him when someone had a little slip here. I think a Freudian slip. It says in the synopsis it says Guy Gardner killed Krona. No, that was Hal. That was Hal.
Hal. That's pre-New 52.
You would expect Guy, but no, it was Hal.
Yeah.
On Earth, John Moore narrowly misses the death of his grandfather in a hospital bed, much to the anger of his brother Raymond. The grandfather was the mugging victim seen earlier. Raymond takes out his grief on John, who offends him with his tight rein over his emotions. Raymond punches his brother and walks away. Back on Yzamalt, Atrocitus performs a blood prophecy using Krona's blood. The resulting visions show him a great many people throughout the universe who must be punished for their actions, refueling his rage and redefining his motivation as an instrument of vengeance. But to fulfill his vision, he recognizes that he will need greater help from his Red Lanterns, those whose loyalty he is beginning to doubt. Thoughts?
I thought this was a pretty good issue. I mean, we kind of got to. We haven't really seen much of Atrocitus other than, bloody killy guy, right? So this was kind of interesting. And I don't know who came up with it, probably Peter Milligan, but having him use the body of Krona as, someone to talk to, I thought was just awesome.
Yeah.
Which we come back to at the end of number 4, but we'll get to that. But yeah, I thought this was a really, I'm gonna say something, and you may think I'm crazy, but confine it to this reason. I think maybe this was the strongest number 1 issue of the 4 books.
I can see that.
Because it did a really good job introducing, Atrocitus, giving his backstory, introducing the Corps and their inherent lack of intelligence, and kind of setting up where they're going to go from here. It's kind of, hey, how's Atrocitus going to get his groove back? So there's an overriding plot that started, and Green Lantern was just a continuation. It wasn't a number 1 issue to reintroduce people. New Guardians was, I think, probably second only to this book, with it being, a first issue establishing what's going on. And Green Lantern Corps was more of a continuation, let's have John kill lots of people type thing,
Yeah.
So, I would say that this is probably I think probably the strongest of the 4 books to come out of New 52.
I did enjoy these, but I was wondering, do you think, again, it is good storytelling in these issues, but do you also think part of it is that we have preconceived notions about who we think the Green Lanterns are, especially the Earth Green Lanterns, and we don't have as many as with Atrocitus?
Oh, absolutely. And 2, I think, there's certainly not, there's no lack of body count here. But
you expect that from Red Lanterns.
Yes, exactly. We kind of expect that. So, the body count in Green Lantern Corps, that's somewhat shocking to a certain degree and kind of unwanted, I think, based on the history of the Corps and, the previous series. So, I do think some of our preconceived notions about what a Green Lantern Corps book should be, a Green Lantern book should be, or even a And I think if you look at New Guardians and you look at Red Lanterns, those are books that don't really have we don't have those expectations for them because they were new books, right? So yeah, I think that's a great point.
Oh, and I didn't even notice this, but then note here, thanks to the events of Flashpoint, Vion and Vice, the Red Lanterns are who were previously killed are back because Flashpoint, New 52. So
Okay. I
it
didn't
says,
that either.
it says they previously fell in the War of Light and Blackest Night, respectively. So
Oh, okay.
I think it said Boudica killed one of them. So
Oh, well, welcome back, guys.
I guess, man, New 52, they're like, hey, can I bring back the 2 Red Lanterns? Oh, sure.
Why not?
The
Heck,
universe has been rebooted. Why not?
yeah, and I have to say, you've probably got one of the Red Lanterns I'm most looking forward to reading about behind your image on the screen.
Oh, what up top?
No, yeah, the one in the middle.
Oh, the one in the middle. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Long-haired, bearded Guy Gardner.
Yeah, I can't wait for Guy. Yeah, Supergirl Guy. That's gonna be. Yeah, it gets crazier, kids. Though.
Yes.
This is nothing. Jeez. All right, ready for number 2?
You bet. Rock on, man.
All right. Well, let's get that cover up there. We got. Oh, this was the weirdest one. All right.
Yeah.
Looks like almost like a recruitment poster for the Red Lanterns.
Yeah, exactly.
Red Lanterns number 2 from December 2011, Pure Rage. Same team. On Yzamalt, Atrocitus considers the vastness of the universe and the cacophony of its competing injustices. He asks his long-dead confidant, Krona, if he remembers Gahan 9, a planet in constant conflict between the technologically superior peacekeeping Uvers and the indigenous Ganites. It is a perfect furnace for rage and pain. On the planet Gahan 9, 2 Uver jets are patrolling the skies. The pilot of one jet, Har, and Nap have both recently lost a colleague to Ganian rebels. Har is furious with Nap for suggesting that some Gahanians were not terrorists, but Nap insists he just wants to get home to his family. Couldn't see why the Uvers needed to stay. All debate is cut short, however, when a ground-to-air missile suddenly takes out their companion craft. Reflexively, Har determines to retaliate on the closest body detected on radar. Nap isn't comfortable, isn't even certain the target is hostile, but then he spies weapons and they both open fire. On the ground, some terrified Gahanian children who have been playing with sticks attempt to evade the aircraft strafing. Two brothers are killed, but their sister survives. While Har celebrates his payback with a reserved Nap, the rage of the Gahanian girl attracts the attention of Atrocitus. While debating with himself the worth of one rage over another, Atrocitus shakes off the Uver's firepower by using the girl's rage to revive his own. He then tears into the jet and snatches Nap from his seat, leaving Har to plummet to his death in the damaged craft. A distressed Nap calls his assailant a monster, but Atrocitus soon makes his point when depositing Nap on the ground among the mutilated bodies of the children recently slain. Atrocitus identifies himself as an instrument of justice, one who will wreak vengeance on behalf of the defenseless. Nap challenges this, arguing that if Atrocitus were to destroy Nap, he would also be destroying the lives of Nap's wife and child. After incinerating him, Atrocitus considers that Nap probably made a good point.
Yeah.
Does rage simply beget more rage? His internal doubt is once again focused by the simple rage of the surviving girl, who reminds him dearly of his own lost daughter. Atrocitus is tempted to recruit the girl to the Red Lanterns as a reminder of what he is fighting for, but the girl is terrified and he apologetically lets her go. Returning to Yzamalt and Krona, Atrocitus concludes that it is a complex universe, but there is certainly some rage more worthy of vengeance than others. He now recognizes that to face the challenges that he has set himself, he will require intelligent help. he will need to increase the consciousness of one of his unthinking lanterns to a level almost equal to his own. And if you listen to our coverage of New Guardians, you have an idea who that might be.
Exactly. Yeah, this actually, I feel like we're getting to a little bit of philosophy here, which I think is good because this is not just, rage, destroy, napalm, vomit, that kind of stuff. But he considers himself an instrument of justice.
Mm-hmm.
But vengeance and justice are two vastly different things.
Yeah, I mean, do you think it? I mean, yeah, before New 52, that Atrocitus just seemed like like another villain. It just I'll kill anything in my way. Now, do you think it's almost like they're kind of like trying to paint him almost as an anti-hero?
I think so because they want us to understand what he's doing and why he's doing it. Now, again, he thinks he's justice, but does this mean? And I'll be honest, I don't know the answer to this. Is that where Peter Milligan was going with this? Because I don't think he lasts too long on this book, unfortunately. So whatever plans we originally had are going to get thrown into chaos.
Yeah,
at some point.
I haven't read all the issues, though. I don't remember where. But eventually, Atrocitus is going to get ousted here. So,
well, and I think one of the things that people do that sometimes annoys me is, they say that there's the good side of the emotional spectrum and the bad side of there aren't any good and bad sides. There's just the spectrum. Too much of any of those things is bad. Too little of any of those things is bad. So that balance, the fulcrum at the center, which is will, keeps all that stuff in check. Hi, I'm Will. But, I mean, because, rage can certainly be a good thing and is sometimes required.
Yes. Well, yeah. I mean, that's the whole. That's the old argument. That's like there's no bad emotions. It's how you use them.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you can be angry at an injustice, but then that could spur you on to take action to improve, I don't know, your life or other people's lives. Yeah.
Yeah, and unless you're Hal Jordan, a little bit of fear probably will keep you alive.
Oh man, did you just burn Hal Jordan?
I just did.
Who is this? Who is this guy I'm podcasting with? Jeez.
Yeah, of course, Hal Jordan.
But I mean, that's, I'm sorry, and I'm going to call out the Jeffrey Thorne run again. Him only dealing with half of the emotional spectrum, that just doesn't make sense. That doesn't ring true because it's not what. Anyway, I will stop before I get ranty, and we can continue on, sir.
Get off my lawn. All right. Go to Red Lanterns number 3.
Oh, actually, I did it before we hop into number 3. I just remembered. I thought it was weird that the Red Lanterns don't just have rings going out. You have great rage in your heart. He was going to take that girl back to Yzmalt to make her a Red Lantern. I thought the rings functioned a lot like the other rings because when Hal was on in the Rage of the Red Lanterns arc, when he was on there and Lyra got killed, he was enraged for a minute and boom, a ring locked onto him and there you go. So this army of Red Lanterns that exists, it doesn't seem to be 3,600 or 7,200 strong, like the other Lantern Corps, of course, leaving out Larfleeze, but yeah, whatever.
I mean, again, is there have we seen like any like sentient AI or anything in these rings? And again, too, I mean, you got to take a dunk in those waters too, right? All that blood, whatever.
Well, what about Guy? Did he just get a ring slapped on him?
Yeah. I don't think
Yeah,
you put
because
a.
that was during Blackest Night, right? Kyle was dead,
Mhm.
dead, quote unquote dead,
Yeah.
and the ring chose him. So I'm curious about how many rings there are, and are they out recruiting, or is it really kind of this? Because that doesn't seem to be very, sustainable to get a lot of,
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of
Well, too, I don't, it doesn't
members of
seem
the
like
corps.
Atrocitus was actively recruiting either. I mean, he
Yeah.
just happened across this girl. Otherwise, I don't think he was thinking about recruits.
Hmm.
Was
Yeah. So anyway,
and he
that
just
was
makes
just
it small. Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, that was one thing I noticed, and I just remembered that I wanted to bring it up.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. All right. Now we're gonna pull the Hitchcock. Yes, woman in shower. All right.
Yeah. uh, yeah. That's Bleeze.
Although that's not the way she goes in the water or the blood, whatever.
No.
All right. So Red Lanterns #3, January 2012. Higher Consciousness. Same team. Bleeze sinks, struggling down into the depths of the blood ocean on Yzamalt, having been thrown in by Atrocitus. He intends for the ocean to restore to Bleeze some control of her intelligence over her Red Lantern rage. Rage, pain, and hatred cloud her mind as Bleeze plummets further downward. Suddenly, among the ancient bones on the bottom of the ocean, Bleeze achieves some clarity. As she pushes for the surface, she is assaulted by a torrent of memories. Her mother's murder at the hands of her erstwhile Sinestro Corps suitor, her subsequent torture on ranks. Bleeze screams. Meanwhile, on Earth, Raymond Moore is confronting Baxter, his grandfather's murderer, outside of Baxter's home. Lighting a homemade firebomb, his attack is ruined by the arrival of his brother Jack. They fight as Jack attacks his brother for being dangerously foolish, but he soon stands down, refusing to see the point and getting angry. Raymond smashes him in the mouth, wrongfully accusing him of cowardice. Back on the shore of the Blood Ocean, Bleeze is confronting Atrocitus. Atrocitus expects gratitude for having returned her intelligence, but Bleeze is furious and traumatized for the consequential return of her memories. To alleviate the trauma and expedite her assistance with controlling his Red Lanterns, Atrocitus takes Bleeze back to her homeworld, Havania. Bleeze is unimpressed until Atrocitus reveals that he had recently learned the identity of two jilted former suitors of hers, Count Lib and Baron Gauze. As an act of revenge, these two had arranged the attention of the Sinestro Corps suitor who was ultimately responsible for her torture on ranks. Before Bleeze acts on this intelligence, she insists on visiting her dead mother's crypt. Atrocitus is appalled at this sentimentality, but acquiesces when Bleeze highlights his own veneration for his long dead family. Bleeze carefully spits on her mother's face for constantly arranging all the suitors that caused so much grief before tearing off to attack the house of Count Lib. She and Atrocitus catch the Count and Baron as they try to escape, not wasting any time in tearing the Baron's head off. Count Lib pleads for his life, and Bleeze threatens to grant it to him so that he may live the rest of his life in fear and contemplation of any future visit from her. Atrocitus is unimpressed with Bleeze's subtleties and slaughters Lib on the spot. After returning to Yzamalt, Atrocitus discovers that Bleeze has a natural influence over the other Red Lanterns. He is simultaneously impressed and concerned, for he suddenly finds himself wondering if Bleeze had created the upheaval among his lanterns in order to force Atrocitus' hand in returning her intelligence. He will have to be careful of Bleeze. So.
Yeah, I thought this took a very interesting turn, just because, I mean, there was no shortage of, Red Lantern murdery stuff,
Yes.
so there's that. But, it's kind of become a little bit of a political book, because he's talking about the Red Lantern followers and Blees and
Mhm.
influence and things like that. I'm of two minds because Atrocitus really, he comes off as very not very confident at all in his ability to command the troops. I mean, he's immediately paranoid about Blees, and I don't know. I don't know if that's a great aspect of him, or a great aspect of his character, or if that's something because he's a Red Lantern, so that he sees things everywhere. I'm still trying to decide, but I thought it was interesting.
I think the Red Lantern thing plays into it a little bit, but I mean, when was the whole massacre of Sector 666? Was it millions of years ago, billions of years ago?
Yeah.
That whole time he was lusting after revenge for Krona. Now that's been taken from him. So after millions, billions of years, he has no purpose in his life. His family's dead.
Yeah.
Krona's dead. It's like, well, now what?
Yeah. Vengeance.
After
Justice.
after you obsessed over something for millions of years. I mean, look what's happening with the Guardians.
Yeah. Yeah, the Guardians.
I know, but I did like that point at the end, where he was like, even though she was like barely had a mind, like even just animalistically, was she just like, I'm going to rile up the troops, so he has no choice but to give me back my intelligence.
I mean, that's crazy, but hey, stranger things have happened, right?
Mm-hmm. And again, I mean, these are all different alien species. Who knows, how her people are.
Yeah. But I mean, there's a really kind of Machiavellian streak here going on with between competition, I guess, between Blees and maybe Blees and Atrocitus. But is it in his mind? Is she actively doing it? Because she's not unintelligent anymore. I mean, originally she was smart, but now she's no longer the mindless, Red Lantern. She's got her intelligence back. So does she want to be in charge? Is she trying to take Atrocitus down? I don't know. Or is it just, some paranoid dream of Atrocitus? Is he looking for someone to kill him because the thing that he's wanted most has been denied him and he can't get it back?
Yeah, again, like you said, I love the writing. It's like, is he paranoid or does he have a reason to be?
Yeah, I think this was a really good issue. I mean, and it showed, we got some great backstory on Blees, as she was sinking down through the Blood Lake, and this book, I think, has got a really good balance of giving us all the backstory we need, as well as moving forward with the characters. I think it's good, very good.
And again, like I said about preconceived notions, and again, I don't think, I mean, as good as this stuff as Jeff Johns did, I don't think with all the cores going on at the same time, he didn't have a ton of time to really flesh out the Red Lantern.
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was pretty much once Sinestro Corps hit.
Yeah.
After it was a dead sprint to get to Blackest Night.
And again, we got some of the origins, like we had seen Bleez's origin before, but nothing like in depth.
Yeah, and when I say a dead sprint to Blackest Night, that includes that 7-issue stretch of Secret Origin. I mean, that was foundational because we had to have that backstory that played into previous stuff and also set up a lot of stuff for Blackest Night. So I mean, it was all very economical and to that end, toward Blackest Night.
Yes, that dead sprint to the zombie story.
Nice.
All right, ready for the last one?
You bet.
All right. There we go. Red Lanterns number 4. So I've been trained 191 episodes of green. All right, so Red Lanterns number 4 from February 2012. The Departed, same team. On Yzamalt, Atrocitus accosts Scalox away from the rest of the Red Lantern Corps. He's attempting to discern if his lanterns are plotting against him. As Scalox is incapable of delivering an intelligent answer, Atrocitus bites down on Scalox's neck, drinking his blood and tapping directly into a blood vision showing Scalox's recent experiences. It is an unclear vision, with Bleeze addressing the lanterns prior to her recent return to intelligence. But Atrocitus is certain that he hears the words Atrocitus, kill, and possible. He hasn't learned enough, but his vision is interrupted by the arrival of Bleeze in person. Ignoring her challenge, he determines to pitch Scalox immediately into the Blood Ocean. In a fit, Zilius Zox and Ratchet are also thrown in. Recognizing that she herself only barely survived her Blood Ocean reawakening, Bleeze questions Atrocitus' wisdom and possibly condemning to madness 3 of his most valuable lanterns. Underneath the surface of the ocean, we see Ratchet beginning to remember. Prior to becoming a Red Lantern, Ratchet once possessed a pink, fleshy torso beneath his bulbous, brain-like head. He also had 2 arms and legs that were effectively main tentacles, and at 138 years old, he considered himself to be in the prime of his life. His people had evolved to be isolationists and following the words of the holy voice of Brax, long may he be alone. In fact, any physical contact among his people had become illegal, a harshly punishable offense. Despite this, Ratchet was determined to fraternize, arranging to secretly meet like-minded individuals. Their meeting is raided by the Isolation Police and all are arrested. While the 3 lanterns are enduring the Blood Ocean process, Atrocitus has returned to the corpse of Krona to confide his concerns about Bleeze. His conjuncture is interrupted when he notices a hidden figure in the distance watching him. In a rage, he assumes it to be Bleeze and pursues the figure, but ultimately is given the slip. Sick of the complexities of leadership, Atrocitus takes his frustrations out on an evil sect in Sector 495 that blinds its daughters at puberty. He then moves to Earth, where he destroys an extravagant government vehicle of a starving nation and burns a violent husband who had abandoned his family. Once again, Atrocitus is forced to come to terms with the fact that he cannot single-handedly deliver retribution for all the rage in the universe. He now considers that Earth may provide him with some new recruits. In small Ogden, England, Raymond Moore is now seeking refuge from the police at Jack Moore's apartment. John hasn't forgiven his brother since their previous fight and refuses to help his brother, arguing that some time with the police might do him some good. The police knock on the door. Meanwhile, in Scalox's Blood Ocean memories, we learn that he was once a loyal lieutenant to his criminal boss, Lancer. However, when a valuable product went missing, Scalox's well-earned trust earns him nothing when Lancer gives the order to torture him and find the truth. Neither of the 3 Red Lanterns have yet emerged from the ocean when Atrocitus returns to Yzamalt. He considers their possible loss a risk worth taking, as he needs potential allies against Bleeze. For the time being, he is forced to admit to himself that the only person he can safely confide with is his dead nemesis, Krona. It is a nasty shock that awaits him, therefore, when he discovers that Krona's corpse has disappeared.
Which is a great ending, by the way.
Yes.
That is an awesome cliffhanger ending.
Cliffhanger, yeah.
But yeah, I thought this was I don't know that this issue was as good as the previous ones, because it seems like we're in transition, with some things.
Yeah, it was almost like, hey, let's do more origins of some Red Lanterns while Atrocitus goes and does whatever. Yeah,
does his thing. But it's still good, and I think overall these first 4 issues are really strong. I mean, as far as if the goal is to launch a new title and give backstory and give kind of the overarching structure and what it's going to be about, I'm hard pressed to find any of the other Lantern books that did as good a job of this one.
Mhm.
You know, I think New Guardians started really strong those first 4 issues, but I think it lost its way kind of with that whole other solar system thingy going on out there.
Yeah.
So uh, I think I would still put this at the top, and New Guardians. Now, is that going to change over the next 8 issues? When we get to zero, I don't know if Milligan's going to stay the writer. The art's gorgeous. Ed Bennis is an awesome artist. He does have a tendency to draw female characters a certain way.
Yeah.
I don't think that that's any secret, but he is a good storyteller, and it's good clean art. Um, so yeah, I really do think that Red Lanterns is attempting to live up to the promise of the New 52, whereas the others, I don't know.
Do you think too part of it? I mean, maybe it's just because Peter Milligan, we really haven't seen him on a Lantern book up until this point. But you think the other three, are they just like they're trying to do their best impression of Jeff Johns' stuff, but Peter Milligan's basically just trying to do something,
Different.
he wants to do? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the thing is, from a Green Lantern standpoint, New 52 didn't have to happen, because
No.
we're getting pretty much the same stories with a little higher body count, in some of them. But
Yeah, really, nothing has changed. No.
yeah, nothing has changed, and well, our 2 Red Lantern dudes are back, right?
Yes. Yes.
But there's no reason that this book had to be launched in the New 52. It could have been launched,
Could have did it
during
after Blackest Night or something. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And the same with New Guardians. That could have been launched after Blackest Nights. And then we know that the Green Lantern and the Green Lantern Corps book would have just kept going. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like New 52 is kind of a wash at this point. It doesn't really affect us, but I think as the New 52 rolls along, it definitely affects all the books a lot more,
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
and I think ultimately to their detriment. But that's just me.
Because I mean, well, once again, I mean, it's probably going to hit next episode too, because we're going to do Red Lanterns 5 through 8 and Stormwatch number 9. So again, of course, no one's going to know who John Jones is. Well, it's Red Lantern; they might not know it anyway. But
Yeah, but exactly. I mean, because that was really jarring, in Green Lantern Corps when he shows up, and I'm like, okay, what about the One Punch? Don't you like Oreos? Haven't we met?
Guy does know who he is. Guy, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it seems unnecessarily confusing. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, they wanted something new, but then it's like they wanted to keep certain things, and it's like, no, you either have to clear the board or don't do it. Yeah.
Now, I believe Grant Morrison wrote the rebooted Action Comics with an early Superman. I think, was it George Perez on art on that?
It might have been. I'm trying to remember. It might have been, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, Grant Morrison. Yeah, they're with Superman in jeans and a t-shirt. Yeah.
Yeah. I have not read those. I kind of want to go back to it, and I still want to. I need to revisit the Grant Morrison Green Lantern because there are some parts of that I absolutely love, and then there are some parts that are.
What the heck?
It's earthquake.
Seemed like it.
Everything okay over there?
Yeah, I guess.
Hope nothing broke.
Nah, mostly just fungus. All right.
Okay. Anyway, yeah. So I've not seen anything yet that has just screamed out to me that said, "This is why we had the New 52, because of this great thing."
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if that's going to be that Action Comics run. I don't know if, truthfully, I don't know if anything is actually going to be worth the havoc that was wrought.
Yeah,
with the
I
New 52.
mean, a lot of it I haven't read since then, but yeah, from what I remember, I don't think anything was really worth. Oh, hey, for doing the New 52, which eventually they kind of turn it all around, but
Yeah. Well, I know that Red Lanterns, I think, only goes 40 issues. New Guardians only goes 40 issues. Green Lantern makes it 52. Does Green Lantern Corps make it 52?
oh, I can't remember. I
I
thought
don't
it was
think it
a
does.
few short or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, nothing went past 52 in the New
Mhm.
52s.
So yeah, but still, I think I enjoyed Red Lanterns for
Yeah.
what it was. It's different and it's good, and I'm curious to see where it's going, at
Oh.
least until another writer comes on, which I think happens pretty quickly because New 52 has a reputation, I think.
Yeah. For people who weren't happy. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
That's all I got, sir.
All right. So yes, kids. So next time, like I said, we're going to do Red Lanterns 5 through 8 and Stormwatch number 9. And then in 2 weeks, we'll do Red Lanterns 9 through 12 and number 0. And then we'll get the week after that, we'll get back to Green Lantern number 0, annual number 1, and 13 and 14. So
Nice. We're ramping up to not War of the Green Lanterns, Wrath of the First Lantern.
That's right. And the first appearance of Simon Baz.
Oh yeah, in the 0 issue.
Mm-hmm. All right, kids. So yes, send us your thoughts. Email us CapesandLunatics@gmail.com or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPES. And remember, you can find all things Capes Lunatics, episodes, social media, merchandise. Get your brand new Capes Lunatics merch, your classic Capes and Lunatics merch. And again, you think you fear Atrocitus, that's nothing. Love Hellfire demands that you ran random money on us through the Cash App link.
Make it rain.
Don't make us dance on that pole because, well, I don't know, something blood lake. I don't know.
It's me, your old pal, the owl. She looks like she was just working a stripper pole down at Divas.
And of course, the Patreon, where you can find something different, uncensored, exclusive to our patrons every month. It was a little bit of a weird this time because yes, I had to throw something up at the last minute because Lilith and I really didn't record for September because she was digging out for that hurricane. So she just finally got her internet back today. I know she told me.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. So so subscribe to the Patreon. You can find it. I don't know why the screen went. Man, what's going on tonight? I swear I'm being haunted. All right.
It is the spooky season.
I swear. All right, kids. So yes, subscribe to the Patreon at patreon.com/CapesandLunatics. And you can find everything all in one place. That's tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Networks. Tubespace.io/CapesandLunatics Podcast Network. All right. Now for this Mr. Will Allred, master of the cores, master of the quantum zone, master of podcasting, and several successful Kickstarter campaigns. Will, tell them about your creations.
Well, you can find me at Walred at Gmail. So that's WALLRED at Gmail and Facebook and Blue Sky and Twitter and probably some other things that I forgot to set up. And like Phil said, we do create some comics and have published them via Kickstarter. We're up to number 6 of Crossover Division, and you can check out Crossover Division at crossoverdivision.com. We'll be launching number 6 hopefully this month. We're a little behind where we hope to be, but hopefully soon. And if you'd like to check out Diary of Night, which is a book that we did a few years ago, you can do that at diaryofnight.com. And you've obviously got great taste because you're here hanging out with Phil and I listening to talk about Green Lantern, which means you probably love Marvel's Quasar nearly as much as we do. So if you'd like to find out more about Quasar, you can do that at the Quantum Zone, quantumzone.org.
I'll put it in my navel.
Hey, boys, you look at the party? I love the party.
Mm.
I hope it's going somewhere nice. They aren't even attempting to enter our orifices.
And
I, of course, love how Jordan.
I do.
so yeah, or so for crossover division, are you planning on October for this month, October to launch? Or?
Yeah, we were gonna try to do last month, but some stuff didn't line up
Yeah.
with the rest of the creative team. So we're hoping to get it launched this month, and then we're closing in on. I mean, I've got artists, so we usually do a kind of a. Alice Leclerc is the artist on half the issues, and then Pablo Martinena is the artist on the other half of the issues. So we're trying to get a good TikTok kind of rhythm going so that we can launch one of these hopefully every 3 months. We're not quite there yet, but we're working on it.
I know, because Lilith and I talked to DG Chichester last time. He was like, I don't know if he got something coming soon, and he was just like, yeah, we just decided to wait till after the election to do anything, the social media.
Yeah, it's funny because I'll be posted. I'll post on social media or something, and I feel somewhat guilty. I'm like, hey, buy my book, read my book, as the world burns around us.
Well, distractions while the world's burning.
True.
Oh, that's the new meme. You sitting at a table reading a crossover division. Everything's fine as the room's like inflamed around you. It's fine.
Oh, and last week on Thursday, Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom came out.
Oh, nice.
Which is really fun, I must say.
Oh my! All right. That's why he doesn't want to travel. All right, kids. Thank you for joining us. Come back next time for more Red Lanterns 5 through 8 and issue 0. Or no, not issue 0. Stormwatch. Oh, it's late, kids.
It is.
It's Tuesday and it's been a busy week.
It's been a long week already. Yep, it has.
So yes, Red Lanterns 5 through 8 and Stormwatch number 9.
Got it.
Yes. Yay. All right, kids. Come back next time. And remember, if you're going to beg for mercy, remember the first day, please. Good night.